So that brings up number 2 in the 2025 NHL Draft. Kind of early, but not that early. Top 20 list. We got James Hagens. Z has him at 2. Button has him at 4. And Ellis has him at 2. And by the way, we're going to just go in order based off of Z's rankings. So be aware of that. But yeah, Z. James Hagens fell out of number 1. Where do we feel like he's at after World Juniors with what's going on in BC? Is he pretty firmly your number 2, or was there some debate here?
No, I mean, I think between now and the draft, my top 4, I'll probably have at number 1, like at different times. Like sure. James Hagens is the one player in like the 4 guys I have in the running for first overall that has actually like gone up a level from last year to this year. So like he goes from the USHL, USNTDP last year, and he goes into Boston College coming into the year, the number 1 team in the country, playing a significant role there. Obviously, he's still at a point per game.
Is that a credential? Is that hang on? Is that a notable stat? Being like, well, at one point they were number 1.
Well, I was gonna say number 1 team in the country, but like I guess they're like 2 right now.
I don't even know. Probably.
I think so, but he is the one player that's like taking a significant step.
They're actually one.
They are number 1 now?
As of today.
There you go.
Because Michigan State lost in overtime to Michigan.
Right. So he's the one player that's taking a jump as far as like his opposition. And I mean, realistically, he hasn't.
Do you know who's 3? I'm gonna put you on the spot. 1 is BC, 2 is Michigan State. Who's number 3?
I feel like at one point it was Western Michigan.
It is. Yeah.
It is Western Michigan.
That's awesome for them.
Yeah.
Can't wait till they get their new ring. But anyways, continue on Hagens.
But I think it's interesting because like I know like listening to people who had talked to like a bunch of NHL scouts at the World Juniors, it's like they were almost shitting on him where it was like he hasn't taken any games, despite the fact that like this tournament especially, like he's been given the opportunity, he's been playing with like Perot and he's been playing with Leonard and he hasn't really done anything to like whatever big time stand out. But like his just raw ability is ridiculous. Like he's an incredible skater, the hands, his transition play, he's a really good two-way player as well. Like his defensive game is beyond solid. The one knock he's going to have too is just the fact that I think he's 5'10", but how smart he is, and his transition play and how well he just like flies to the middle of the ice with the puck. Like I don't really have any concerns about whether or not I think he will end up being a center at the NHL level, just given his all-around game. But like he is so fun to watch, especially when he's just feeling it. Like he has had a few games at BC this year where he has taken over and it is incredible. So it's like, for me, the only reason I even took him off the first spot because he's just been so good for so long too. Like that's the other thing. Like he's just been a model of consistency where it's like, you never really go 2 or 3 games without fucking like being like, oh, where is Hagen? Like, oh, forgot Hagen was on the ice. Like he's going to stand out. And I mean, again, I think this, even at the World Juniors too, he still put up some decent points. But the reason that he fell to 2nd overall for me in this top 20 was just the fact that like Schaefer has been legitimately outrageous in the games that he's played this year. So I just went with that. But he's been really good at BC. It's always tough to jump up a level anyways in your draft year on a top team in the country. Going up against the other best teams in the country almost every night. So you just look at his all-around play, the upside, how well he skates, his ability in all 3 zones. Like he's no doubt a top 5 guy. And if people still have it at number 1, he's still a first overall type player.
So here's my question, because I just don't know how close or how separate it is. Like, are you just blindly taking Schaefer at this point, or is it going to come down to team construction to an extent?
What do you like?
Positional need.
Oh no, I'm just going off. I'm
asking you. I'm not saying based on these rankings. I'm asking you, like, do you think that as of now, like any GM should take a defenseman of this caliber, or if there's a team that's starving for a center, do you go to James Hagens? No question.
Or Michael Misa.
Or Misa, right?
Yeah.
You get my point. I'm asking, like, is Schaefer, because it's defense instead of center, like, I feel like it's a lot easier to say, oh, we've got our like center depth set. We don't need a center. It's a lot harder to say like, oh yeah, we've got all the defensemen we'll ever need. Why would we draft Schaefer? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, just my personal feelings about these players. If you're feeling good at a position, like you're not gonna worry about like going Hagens or Misa over Schaefer. Like it's not really gonna like they're so good and their upside is so high that like, yeah, you could make an argument. Again, like any one of my top 4 right now, you could be like, yeah, that's my 4th overall, whatever, and feel good about it.
No,
Or my
totally
first
fair.
overall.
Totally
So, like,
fair.